Fizz want in on the Tidal family? I'm good. Who have they got? Like what, Frank Ocean and Jay-Z? Oh, good. All Jay-Z's good music was way before Tidal anyway, let's be honest. Apple Music, anyone? Ooh. Ouch. On your own, mate. On your own. Where'd you let us go? Hey, MPTWBB. How you doing, dude? You miss it. You missed the giveaway, but you're here for the fun. Yeah. You did miss the trippiest part of the game so far, though, as well, actually. But you're here for the fun. Why you like this kid? I will send you gifts to your post all the time now. How's yeah? Tidal has everything. Everything. Do they have Cotton Eye Joe? PTTTT. No Ramstein, no, but they don't have everything then, do they? That's it, everyone up in here. Hey, and Yane as well. How you doing today, buddy? Hey, everyone coming up in here now. Beautiful. How y'all doing? What's up, what's up? And Bax, yeah, man. After that, where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cara Watson. Okay. I'm gonna fuck with this. Okay. I can do this.
Expedition 3. We located the source.
It's not how the song goes, DMCA? Well, if you get it wrong, is it still DMCA? Because it's not that song anymore. Then it becomes a copyright issue of are you just stealing that song? But because you're not selling it,
based on its physical shape.
maybe that's the way around it. We can all listen to copyrighted music still. We just have to make it wrong.
You here? Is that why you brought me here?
We just need to redo the vocals and some, you know? Oh man, I think I found out what we need to do, guys. We need to record every song that's ever been made, like to the point it sounds like the original artist, but with the completely wrong lyrics. Because then it's a different legal matter at that point. It's you've ripped off that song rather than you using it in your own like things.
See you again.
Yeah, we're on to something here.
Hang on, I'm coming.
Hang on, just for a bit more because I have missed some stuff in chat here. So that's a demerit from Tidal for having Cotton Eye Joe. Oh shit, because it is on there. Yeah. Does it have the Teletubbies song? Not just the theme, the song they released. Does it have Mr. Blobby? If it doesn't have Mr. Blobby, then Tidal's it's not worth fucking shit. You know what I mean? And Lady in Red by Krista Berg. Yeah. Okay. I kind of on like a break from studying, got a math exam tomorrow. Oh damn. Okay. But at the moment, vibing. Your math seems to be going quite well. Okay. Fucking A. Nice. Oh yeah. And have you been able to? You've been waiting for Mocha to get onto RP. Nice. Okay. Beers covers. Yeah. Let's start with Oasis. That's a fruit drink. How can a fruit drink produce music? And I've never heard of either of Wonderwall or Monster Mash. Is Wonderwall one of the Oasis drink flavors? And I'm guessing Monster Mash is some tying mashed potato product. It does have Albie the Racist Dragon. Oh, that's bringing it back for Tidal. To be honest, Masters quality, I use Tidal because it has flax at higher bitrate. Now that's I mean, to be honest, that's the thing you should be saying to me. Yeah, that shit's in FLAC. Okay, now I listen. Because yeah, I mean that's one of the worst things about like say like YouTube. You can get anything on YouTube, but it's not great, is it? Oh, have you seen the Battlefield 2? Oh, I haven't. No, I put it in my like watch later list earlier, but I haven't actually seen it yet. Is it looking good? Oh, hi, darling.
This is my final message.
Oh, and he's a little naked. Can see his nips.
It's not the end. But after this, I won't. I exposed myself to Hedron resonance fully.
Oh, you tip. You tip. That's the first thing you're told in training not to do. Oh. Darling, you okay? What have you seen, darling? Because I've seen your nips.
I've been shown so much.
Yeah, but what have you been shown?
Slides,
Not t-shirts.
Hedron, stop the spread of another.
Let's talking about the maps. Oh shit! I missed so much other shit again. God damn it! I'll read chat in a moment after this bit of exposition.
Source resonance. Trench was exposed to this other.
Okay.
It will now spread.
Oh, darling.
I've done everything I can to stop the Hedron resonance amplifiers.
Oh.
I don't know if it'll make a difference.
Did he just say he's trying to stop the things that everybody's wearing apart from me?
I won't be here when it happens. I should have told Emily more.
Oh, okay. Talking about this thing, maybe.
I'm being sent one more lesson.
Okay, cool. Hurry, because I'm missing a lot of chat here, buddy.
Something
But we do get nips,
wonderful,
so...
I think.
I assume they're just normal shorts, not boxers. They're super long, otherwise. I was going to say as well, he could have just written this down, but I wouldn't have read it, actually. Okay, now what did I miss? So don't get too hyped. It's only a game engine feature, but it's able to do. Watch the premiere. It's looking real nice. High hopes. Okay, talking about the maps, vehicles, guns, etc. And that's just in stuff. But the map design, holy shit, so hyped. Okay, nice. Nips on Twitch. Oh yeah, shit. It didn't matter. He shave his nips. He's fine. The Ice map. A couple of maps were reused from BF3 and 4. Okay, I think I got Battlefront 4 for free somewhere recently, right? That's good. You want to fucking take down that tower again? Was it Ubisoft? Read chat now. I am reading it right now, PTW. I'm reading it right now. I ain't going to be up for long with you in the lobby, right? Not one match is going to happen on that map, right? Don't take the tower down. I don't think I played much. I played a little bit of one of them with Enzimo, but only a little bit. So it's amazing. I don't know if there's any buildings at all. I was talking about what's in slide 36. Right, okay. And Battlefront is really fun. Yeah, when I played it like that brief time with UNs, it was a good fun time. I liked the actual destruction elements of stuff. Wait, I'm meant to go in there, right? Investigate the Hadron Chamber. Let's have a little look at it. Oh, look at that. Floors all moving and shit. Is there a thing that I could... No. It doesn't matter what door I do here, but... I assume I just have to walk back out. They apparently have like a whole new destruction engine. Ooh, really? Can we talk about that weather? Is it hot? Is it a hot one out? What info was 128 player matches? Oh shit, that would be crazy. Yeah, that would be crazy. And Scrunchy, honestly, this game is really fun. It's on the Xbox Game Pass, but I wouldn't recommend playing it through that because they've given us that you basically played the developer version rather than the actual full release one. So like, if you play it, I'd say probably just try and like buy it.
You are coming through so strong.
I thought it might.
Darling used this HRA to lock the door. I have to rip it off to get in.
All right, let's go. Oh, that actually.
You sure?
Oh, that worked.
Okay, I'll be there.
Oh, okay, that's the thing where we were before. Okay, cool. Yeah, buy it from Steam or something. Yeah, that's it. Don't do the Game Pass one. Oh, that actually budged it a bit. Because you'll see once you see the trailer. Okay. Ain't gonna run back for a 2014 or more medium. Yeah. Yeah, it's starting to get with games that point where my PC is going to be very much going down to medium or maybe, hopefully not lower, but...
Made it.
That's it. Just fire. Embrace the fire.
The hole in your room is a hole in you. You gave it, we let you into the hole in you! You have only stayed here. The only child. A copy of a copy of a copy.
No. Why did you... This was a mistake.
That's right, we'll just clean the siphons and everyone will be happy with us. Save me, everybody. Do my biddings. Explode. Oh yeah, I gotta do this, right? Heal. Heal. This doesn't look good, yeah, right? 970 gang rise up. You still want to... Oh yeah, you said that recently again and I forgot. It always amazes me that you're on a 970, but you're still like... You play VR and shit. It's like a containment unit. It kind of does, right? Power punch. Ow! Bad idea. Excuse me, I don't know who suggested I do that, but I'm an idiot. Slippery snakes, for real. That's fair to make some noise. Never a good thing. You just sold your 970s. Oh, what were you like SLIing them? 140 each, you think? That's not bad. Here. It's rocking SLIing. Nice, okay. I wonder how much we'd get for 1070. Probably not too bad, and with the current way it is. 200 max, yeah, I mean, that's not too bad. It's like a setting tweeting per each game to get working. Yeah, I like SLI always seemed like a cool thing, but it also seemed like you had to like work hard to actually get it working with a lot of shit. Oh, fuck you. I'm gonna need the other gun, he's got the healer on him. Oh shit. No, you join me too, actually. Yeah, then I have 2 flying buddies. We can go on holidays and they can carry me. Can't even SLI new cards. Oh, really? Oh, what's some you can? Okay, right in B-Link, right. Still have a few connection on top. Did you say get away from her? Is she about to find her real self, which is a combination of her and Dylan? Oh, there's more shit over there to do. How dare they? How very dare they? Oh shit, for a satellite at that prick. And I threw a prick at that prick. Fly, fly. Fear a grenade. I don't fear a grenade, you know. Alright, oh, you're up there. I didn't even see you, buddy. I'm sorry, that was my bad. Oh shit. Dumb shit. Alright. Now where was I? Yeah, giant beam flight. Okay. Again, I missed some shit, my bad. Leave Brittany alone! Damn. Deep cut there from Kyle. Assuming the 3070 and 3070 Ti. Oh, there, yeah. 1390 as NVLink. Okay. Oh no, yeah, I am actually fairly near the end, Scruntry, yeah. I've had to miss a lot as well, because I've only got this game until, like, well, it could end at midnight, I don't actually know. 706 having me believe, right, okay. We're both 20 and 30 series. Oh, it doesn't have a NVLink, just not, at least found distant. Okay, MSI I have on my NVLink now. And the 390 and the Pony 86,000. Because Roy did, they had 27 dust bullet, but that's cool. Just even right now, it'd be. I mean, it's hard enough getting 1 graphics card right now. Like, imagine trying to get 2. Man, look at all the hiss just like following that shit. Just it's like a giant heart, man. Oh, what's happening there? No, 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 stay still. Don't be a dickhead. What did I say? Oh shit. My bad. Then he stands still. I mean, some people. Oh shit. You wanna spawn any more before I come over, or are you gonna wait until I'm over? Probably gonna wait until I'm over. Let's go. Everything league's better than SLI. Don't know why they dropped it. Sport. Is it like pretty much the same thing, or just like it just works better kind of thing? Oh fucking hell! He threw a dish at me. And not like a tasty one. Like a painful one. Oh, you son of a fuck. Oh, no, 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 don't do that. I need this health. Maybe I should go back and get that other health, because this isn't going well. Oh, fuck me. Come here, come here. Power punch! Save me. You can be my second in command. Oh shit, hello. Fucking hell, man. It's just hectic. Change the fucking gun. And I'll do Stream Raiders in just a moment, everybody. Oh, fuck! Whew. Let's do Stream Raiders. Let's go. Shit. Okay, so we're gonna make haste, not war. You know? Okay. Did you set up that -1 counter yet? I haven't. No, no, no. Mainly because I'm not sure how I would do it, because I've still got the dense counter linked up at the moment. So I might need to make like a separate command for it. Goodness, some firmware difference somewhere, but legible. I've been pretty good. I think I've maybe had like 1 or 2 very slight moments, but like not anything I'd say like too bad, you know. But yeah, when does have a command? Yeah, so yeah, it's an RP thing. So it's when you break like when you fail the RP, like if you say like I think one of the only people's names I've actually fucked up was I once called Hatter's character Brian Hats. I was like you know. Yeah, like I get called Fizzle a lot still, but I mean lots of people refer to me as Fizzle the whole time, so that's completely understandable. Yeah, who would do that, right? Exactly. Yeah, a +1 too. It should be a plus. It's we need to maybe have 2 commands that affect the same counter. So like you can do like fail RP and good RP maybe. So then it's like +1s or +2s. Yeah. You never called Fizzle before? Can't you just copy past the dense command and rename it? Probably, but I need to then link the 2 together. Loyalty chest, blue chests. Let's get it. We're gonna put down. Oh, I need to do paladin still, don't I? I'm gonna go buy these nice little dinosaurs, which I'm almost as tall as. Isn't that adorable? Okay. Making a second counter in chatbot is super easy. Okay, fucking A. Alright, cool. Yeah, Beefy's already, Beefy and Enzmo have both given me actual, like, commands that they've, like, put together before. I just have no idea. A lot of time I read it and be like, oh, that makes sense what they wrote, but I wouldn't have known to do that, like, by any shot. Oh, I'm a bit far away again, aren't I? Let me take this for good measure. Even I can't figure out most commands. Yeah, and Bakura's like the smartest person that's ever lived in his house. Actually, I don't know. Your mum's pretty smart. As is Ricky. He's boxing smart, you know. He's got street smarts, and I don't know if he has book smarts, but he's got street smarts. As much as I know about chatbot, I still haven't finished setting mine up all the way. I was saying this the other day, like, I think a lot of the time, it's like what I like to think of as like builder syndrome. Like you spend so much time doing other stuff that when it comes to actually just doing it for yourself necessarily, for like your own project, like I can't be bothered. You know, you kind of want to chill and do the like funner parts. You can't be bothered to do all the ins and out, but you do it for other people. But you just a lot of time you can't be bothered for your own actual like interest. I think a lot of it is laziness. If you're doing it for someone else or for a project or something, you know other people are potentially waiting and like, you know, there's a reason to get to it. Whereas your chat, it's like, it's just for me, though, isn't it? Alright, let's Kenobi this one. Kenobi! Oh, that was actually too high. I could probably get him if I just... Kenobi? Got him. It's for your viewers too, yeah, that is very true, yeah. If anything, more for them. Oh shit! But now I'm also learning Unreal Engine. I plan to do an actual full-on cabin, like a 3D cabin room that we can then rotate around, have different sections. So like for mine and Kyle's like music chat show type stuff, we can be in one part of the cabin, you know, and then that way I could get like the lighting and all the props and everything looking really cool. And especially on UE5 now, we could get crazy. Fuck me. Is there any more health around here? A little bit. Oh, they're spawning more. Oh, I tried grabbing it. I thought... Motherfucker. So you don't feel so rush to finish it. Need the seasons to... Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a really good shout. That'd be very easy to do as well. You just change the like HDRI in the background. Because I'll be having it so like... There'll be windows and stuff, so it should look like a... Even if it probably will just be a flat 2D plane, it will still look like it's a, you know, a window. But that should be easy to set up anyway. You just have your like cabin model, and you just put a flat plane just outside of it, so then it still looks like there's a bit more dimension to it, you know. Oh yeah, it can make it snow in winter and stuff. That would be sick. I mean, I'm like... Maybe at some point as well I could do like, because I keep meaning to do like an intro video for the Twitch page and for YouTube and shit. But if I did get that set up and had a nice little scene around the outside, I could do like a panoramic like camera sweep of the house as it goes into it for like this intro and shit. It's all just new software I need to learn. I was thinking of some new backgrounds instead of the poly thing she got. Yeah, fair man, yeah. Like, I mean, most of my, like, cooler stuff on here is just from, like, those, yeah, free transitions, like, free transitions and, like, VFX type sites. Like, I don't know fuck all about animation or, like, video editing, really. Like, I can do basic video editing, but I really despise it. Like, people who actually do, like, video editing and, like, can stick with it well, like, I give them kudos. For me, it's like, I hate it. Like, my shit looks so basic, but it still takes like an hour for every minute even, sorry. If you're lucky, you know. Like the old skate videos I did, like, I enjoyed making them, but they just took fucking forever at the same time. That way you can start streaming again. Not so well. Yeah, that's it. Get on it, girl, because you have the same graphic. What, as Bakura? Get wrecked. Doesn't seem like anyone wanted to enter the montage competition. Yeah, see, like, I think if you find somebody who does want to, like, edit your videos, I think you're lucky. Because, like, I sure as fuck would never want to, like, you know, it's a cool competition to run for fucking sure. But, I'd never want to have to edit videos, like, for other people. I don't like doing it myself. Maybe poly background. Ah. Now, can I just not have those fucking pricks here this time? No, no. Apparently that's just an illegal move to ask for that even. Well, we're going to start with the pricks. Oh shit. Oh, come on. Right, okay, I killed the two big nerds. I should have taken one of their souls, but... Double kill. Radical. Sweet. Shao Kahn'd his ass. And I'll let him deal with his own matey. While I deal with this. Whew. Okay, and I missed a bunch of shit again. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, 2 seconds. Okay, hey, and Snow! How you doing today, my man? I would never want to edit anybody's. Mocha was on it, but I don't know if she's done anything fair. Yeah, Mocha's GTA edit was sick. I really enjoyed that. You don't even have a green screen up, Snow. Get him. Green screen is actually a pain in the ass. It's cool, but it affects so much, man. Like, you could have so much nicer lighting and that without it. It's just I've got, like, a bit of a longer weird room. But I was thinking as well of, like, potentially taking my green screen off now someone's coming. Although my windows are right here, so it always fucks with the light. So I kind of have to change the curtain anyway. So I'm like, you know. Such an opposite with concentration face. What's my concentration face? Does it look like I'm not pooping? And my normal face looks like I am pooping. And we'll try that new RTX broadcast thing with the auto green screen? I have not even heard of it. Could always find someone on Fiverr. That's true. I've been thinking about getting someone on Fiverr, like, Endzame suggests I get someone on Fiverr to show me the ropes for 3ds Max. I might do that. Oh, also, Snow, I ran some tests, and doing it, like, so if I do it the simple 2D texture way, I can easily get textures in. I tested that bit last night, but I'm still trying to figure out learning 3ds Max properly so I can actually, like, do what I need to do. But I can do so that I can do a lot of simpler stuff. I'm quite confident soon I'll be able to have the more unique stuff in as well, yeah. RTX green screen, I guess it's like RTX ray tracing and like the sound one. Oh, come on, Meow. Okay, so for Meow, we'll keep going like this. I'm guessing it's the same as the RTX. I got to do physical too. Alright, Meow. That would be perfect, I guess. Just need automatically moves the background without needing a green screen. That's amusing. Oops, sorry, for Gil. Just green screen is too much effort. I mean, to be fair, I only have to put it up, and it's not that hard, but yeah, it's more with the way my room is. If my desk was anywhere else, which it can't really be at the moment, I probably would think about not having the green screen on. This is incredibly fucking dark to see. Jesus Christ. Does that got? Can I land on that? For me, it just goes from black to black there. Yeah, okay, I can land on it. Alright, cool. Fuck Meow. Fuck Meow. As soon as play to PD for the Highway State Trooper role and just do Super Troopers. I like... Yeah, I'm not falling for that one this time. I was trying to fit a cat thing into that, but it just didn't work. What Meowron I am, you know? Yeah, go fuck yourself, But yeah, I like... See, I don't think I'll go for a proper, like, police one, but I am... no cursing. Okay, Phil... Oh, I've got to put time... I need to start putting timers on for this stuff. Alright.
Poster comes down.
Yeah, I would be so on doing like a Super Troopers type one. All of us just mustached up and stuff.
And death.
Alright, timer, 5
was
minutes,
wrong.
let's go.
There was
I'm not gonna
never
swear.
anything there.
It just won't happen.
Hello? Polaris, are you there? Please. Let me sleep. Please. I just want to sleep. Now, let me sleep.
Okay. It's just dark. Huh? Oh? Oh. Wait. I didn't swear, did I? I died. GG. Wait, what? That wasn't the actual ending though, right? Yeah. What is happening here? Is this just being meta? Oh, words, but you forget. Push the fingers into the surface in the way you're wasting you. Oh, I do enough time to. Yeah. Shit. Ah, I swore. Fuck me. But yeah, this looks like the genuine end of the game, guys. GG. Horrors. I can't believe that guy actually heard that name. That's crazy. Here's the Seattle team. The Seattle team did really well. Yeah. Yeah. Physical Cool Times definitely ended by now. Ooh. Huh, there's right on screen right now? I don't know. Huh. G04, no need to investigate further. I like, part of me hopes, like, because there was no way this game was going to end like that. But part of me hopes some people thought it had.
That's pretty good.
Just can't say.
Bureau of Control, how may I help you?
I need those field reports typed up and in management's hands first thing
The
tomorrow.
Bureau's the best at what it does. Protecting everyday Americans from
Hey, Irish.
foreign threats.
There's the new girl.
I got a new-
standing
new
around
outfit.
daydreaming. She should be getting work done.
Now we do the no death run. What do you mean that was the no death run?
director?
I'm alive, am I not? Check the notice board for tasks. Coffee, email, document. I'll take these two. I'll take that one as well, actually. Why not? Live a little. Tidy up the coffee cups and stuff. Can I power punch? Oh, I can't power punch. Do I have to pick them all up? No human can carry this many cups. There's more cups? Gotta make sure the TPS reports are good. Your hands aren't. Yeah, I should have put in a contract you can't bring that up anymore. I've got to live with no hands and Kyle being like, yo, you have no hands. That's too much. Control RP, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna need you to go ahead and start wearing a tie. Boop, 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 boop. Maybe I could be a cup collector. If I just had pockets, like Cara Watson has.
Of course.
I found all of the cups, sir. Deliver the mail, scan the forms, tidy up the coffee cups. Oh shit. I'm gonna do my job. I don't know why, I just felt like doing it all of a sudden. Oh, here's a letter. Here you go, you've got a letter. Here you go, you have a letter.
Let me know if you need anything.
Here you go, you're fired actually, but that's what your letter is. Hey, this one's your subscription to Letter Weekly. This is your subscription to Weekly Letter. This is a postcard. That's a picture of a teddy bear. That's a smushed poop. That's smushed non-poop. That's just jam.
Thank you for
A bit of ham in that one. That one's actually just a normal letter. That one's tickets to Destiny's Child reunion. That one is
I
I
can
don't
do
know,
better.
pancake. That one's a divorce summons.
You're dismissed.
That one's a DMCA.
My pleasure.
That one's a autograph from Bill Paxton. That one's a live Jaguar.
Thank you. Thank you.
That one has an RC car in it. That one's an address to a ballerina. It went to the wrong place. That one is from Bill Paxton again. He's really busy. And this one is telling him to start buying computers and stop using typewriters. Yeah, cool. Dylan said he got you a job. Ah, oh man, that's a good brother. Trying to get your sister a job, you know, yeah. He has to break cups into smaller pieces, yeah, and then just glue them back together. That's how long I wasn't meant to swear for, but it didn't last. The last one's for Carol. Oh, shelter. Whoa, children. Hey, there's actually people in this one. You alright? Huh. Just gonna have a piss, but I'll leave you to it. What do you want? I've got to deliver more mail? Does this ever end? Hey, actually, it might not ever end, because the coffee cups is back up. I just got to go to that thing, that red thing over there, basically.
My pleasure.
Or did I fuck it? Because this thing was glowing at one point, and then I think I fucked it. Damn it! Hey, Mucka! How you doing today? Crazy how they save this running gameplay until after the game, right? Tick, tick, tick. I've never played this game, and I'm 90% sure this will never end. I think I had got it. Oh no, there it is over there. Maybe. Yeah, here we go. Hey, well, I'm meant to be the director. Dylan got me a demotion. What a bitch. I'll take it to him. I just don't know. Oh, he's over here. I found it.
No, he's not in.
Is that Trench? Looks like the dude from Knives Out. Alarms go off. Woo! I can't power punch. And this door doesn't open without a power punch. You alright? Fuck you. Okay. Oh man, why is his office so far away? And why don't they use go-karts? You alright? Like if I owned offices this big, I wouldn't expect everyone to walk around this. It'd take them all day just to get to the first meeting. Go-karts. Just let them drive go-karts around the building. Like I don't understand. Why can't companies think of better modern solutions nowadays, you know? Is this where I request a go-kart? Hey, Arish. And Langford. How you guys doing? Hey, Artie!
You are not lost.
Yeah, I'm pretty lost.
You can find yourself in the director's office.
Well, I am the director, so maybe I will. It'd be quite cool if Dylan's in here as the director, though.
Oh, great.
Oh, no, it's Trench.
Waiting for my mail.
Okay.
Just leave it on the desk there, please.
Actually, I'm here to talk about promotion.
So you're the, please, take the outgoing mail as well?
I'm the outgoing male. I should have let him talk. You think you're in charge, Fizzle? Never. Just go with the flow at this point.
I don't like this. No, this isn't me. I'm not me. I can't
Oof. Oh yeah, because we found...
feel you.
Yeah, we found him. That was literally the start of the game, wasn't it? We found the director, Trench, dead in his office. It looked like he'd shot himself.
I can't think.
Oh.
I'm lost.
Yep. Coffees. Thingies. Thingies. Oh, I've just got to take control.
Feel anything. I don't want to be alone here. Where am I? What is this? Why won't it end? Wake up, please.
Wake up. Go around, brush and put a little makeup. Actually, no, let's take some cups. I really feel like I'm coming into my own in the cup minigame.
Pick it up.
I am picking it up. Don't you dare. I'm going for the world record right now. Speed run on cup grabs. Oh, we got this. We have actually got this. Speed running world record. Ah! Get him! We done that in 2.3 seconds. That is definitely a world record for that part. GG everybody. Couldn't have done it without all of us. Clean up the coffee cups better. I did good. I did good. Good. Let me go check up there again. Yeah, I can just go straight to this.
Doesn't she know how dangerous the old director is? He's unstable. He'll tear her apart.
Huh. This woman telling me I'm going to be tore apart, and she's just like, you know, flashing in and out of existence whenever she wants. Stop thinking. I can hear it. Oh wait, is it this way? Oh yeah, it's over this way, isn't it?
Oh, have you seen him? Mr.
World record, I know, right? Crazy times, and you were all here. You're all here for that moment. They all think I'm working with him now.
You should keep trying. You are getting closer.
Thanks, Artie. That's just what I needed to hear.
Need to
This
keep
is getting a bit like
moving.
Sin City Schindler's List, right? With all like the chroma kind of grey, but the odd touches of red.
We've been invaded. I must act. I need an answer.
How is the room so dark over there with that
The
massive
nostalgia
fucking thing?
department. I'll turn it on. I'll bring the hiss in. I'll fix this.
No, don't be a dickhead.
I can hear them plotting against me.
Yep.
We've been invaded, corrupted.
Yep.
I've lost Darlin.
Also, I had poop on my shoe, and now it's on your
First to
report.
go. He's been
Poor
exposed
Darling.
to Hedron's resonance.
Yeah.
It controls him now.
Oh shit, yeah, we haven't actually seen
Controls
his
everyone who
like
wears the amplifier
potential
device.
his form.
I ordered them not to use the damn things.
And they didn't listen?
They didn't listen.
They didn't listen.
Hedron corrupted the Bureau. They'll never be people again. They're either
Oh.
dead or they're monsters.
That's just his opinion.
I'll stop them.
They might be people
I
again.
have a secret ally.
And they might just be able to fly
The
afterwards. It
nostalgia
might be like a
department.
nice like knock-on effect.
I have my own slide for the projector. I took
Oh.
it. A memento. In ordinary.
Also, this time I learned to listen to him before just doing the tasks.
It's burnt, but it'll work. The hiss will save us all. I lost my
Why he thinks the hiss are
train
good.
of thought.
You meant to just shoot yourself in the head,
it's
didn't you?
confused.
Yeah.
Like somebody, switching channels too fast.
Couldn't have been me. I watch everything online now,
I
you know.
see so
No channels to
much,
switch.
but
Just choose what you want.
It's too fast.
Pretty good. Saves
On the
fortune on
expedition
remote controllers and batteries, for sure.
Slide. Something got into my ear, and it hurt at first. But then it didn't.
Dude got spider eggs in his ear.
Started as a
Yeah.
distant
Spiders, when they're babies, can speak human. That's why they're always so deadly in real life.
dream.
They probably know it in adulthood as well, but they know better to mask it, you know.
Wake up! I'd open my eyes with those words still on my lips.
Okay, so he's also sleeping with a
In
tattoo
the
artist.
dream, they had made perfect sense, but awake they're like a foreign language, already forgotten.
Like Polynesian. No one ever speaks that anymore.
Then the sense of loss hits. Like losing a child.
You talk a lot.
Like losing yourself.
Let me jump on your head.
You see, I was being taught a
Oh.
song, a poem,
Huh.
a prayer that would light up my world and make me break through, make all this pain worth it. Something once lost was found, and it made
You didn't listen to him for thanks for doing that. No worries, man. Yeah, the
spring
first time I skipped it, and I felt a bit like, oh shit.
waves
But
carving me and making me see. And it grew.
he started talking differently this time round, so I'm guessing we might have to do this for a third time.
And I receded deeper into myself, into this office, locked in this oldest house, which is my aging body.
Fucking hell, dude. You've
I
got a lot of
stared
mass.
in awe through the people, and I was
Oi, oi.
filled with knowledge and made better.
You don't seem better. What's this stuff? Pistachios. You can tell
Often feel like
the art team took a long time with that one. You can tell they're like, let's keep pistachios towards the end because it's going to be the game changer, the design for that one.
they can
Like, look how
see
nice
me.
that folder looks over there, and then look at pistachios.
I remember
It looks like a candy bar. It doesn't even look like a bag of nuts.
See, there was a
Not that
this
you know this game isn't actually beautiful.
here in this very room, and then sometimes
They're in the vending machine, all white packets. Oh, okay. I suppose it is part of the no branding in the
stuck there.
CBU, FBI, FBC, whatever the fuck.
But
What is this
sometimes
place
he
called?
was an old god
You are talking for so long, Trench. No wonder you keep getting shot in the head.
in the first place.
Hey, no shit! Mist coming in with the sub. Thank you very much there, buddy. How you doing today, my man? Thank you very much. That's super nice.
So he was,
Welcome to the team, dude.
conflicted, but he knew many things.
Well, the sub team. I suppose you're already part of the follow team, you know. So
He was also sort of senile.
I'm gonna run in circles and just
It was more like
see if I can create some sort of whirlpool
like
to make his mouth stop.
or an omen.
Honestly, if someone said keep talking for that long, I don't think I could do it. Even if there was a script.
I get so confused so easily. It's
Is it because I'm walking around you?
to follow everything.
I'm just here to deliver your mail. Why are you unloading this much fucking baggage on me, dude? No wonder the last mail person left. Like, you know, get over it. Anyway. Your wife's leaving you. Have fun. Oh. Does this trench ever stop? Right, it's crazy how long he was talking for, man. Like, I hope the actor got paid a lot of money for that, because the amount of oxygen tanks he must have needed to actually, like, recover from it. Fuck.
First, he turned on the projector. He let them in.
Yeah, what a donkey brain.
I have to remember the hiss. The hiss is the enemy.
It does start to feel like Jesse and Dylan are very much potentially the same. But it also then seems like I'm kind of trenchy. And Dylan's now taken over?
This is all inside my head. The hiss burrowing in. I'm trapped in here. They're taking over.
Hey, Dylan! How you doing, buddy? Is there a door? I can't power punch through. No, the one time I genuinely need to make a door rather than use the one that's already open. And I can't. Anyway, there's no snacks in that room for you, buddy, but if you need to shit, there is a trash can. Just take it into the darker area. I'll catch you in a bit. You right? Hey, you guys ain't zombies yet, are you? Oh, we just can't hear anything in this world no more. Okay. You missed. How are you doing today, dude?
Welcome back.
Hey, Artie.
You, I chose a good assistant.
Yeah, you did, buddy. And I chose a good janitor friend. I like how you've got colour in your face. But your hands look a little cold. I don't have his mail this time. I hope he's chill. I couldn't be fucked to pick it up. Do I actually need... Oh, I actually do need to go through that process still. I was just like, can I just skip it because it's the third time round? Like, she knows she doesn't have to do the shit now, right? She learned it in character. Hey, everybody. Let me get to work. Oh, I can just grab this straight away, actually, can't I? None of you could have picked it up. You're clearly just standing here doing nothing. Lazy motherfuckers.
I will fight this. I will find a way to push them out.
Hang on. Just need the mail. Well, I like that. I like that you had to knock on the door when you didn't have the mail, and he just flat ignored you. Oh. I'm gonna run around the other way this time. Oh, happiness is coming. Sweet. White pearls. I mean, as long as it's happy. So I just gotta go through the looking glass. Hey, what's this? Oh, it's a bullet. A bullet machine. You've never stood around me. And pretty much I've only ever seen you sitting and dead. You're just chatting shit, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah! Now I'm on his side, so he's not talking to me. He's talking just to the world. He's talking to you guys. Yeah! Take it in, everybody.
We build you till nothing remains.
Yeah, remember that.
The end cracks and the truth will emerge.
Yep, I've heard that one before.
You remind us of home.
Just a minute, Trench. Carry on telling everybody in just a minute. But we do need to quickly have a little bit of a fight, you know. I'll be right back with you, though, Trench. It's you know, it's very important what you're saying. I believe in you. Sure. I believe in Harvey Trench. You're all just sitting there. Nothing's moving. What, are we just waiting for the enemy to come to us? Oh, it's a guard one, isn't it? We have to guard some shit. Guards. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if it like just glitched out. Purple is stand your ground. Ah, okay. Yeah, I just click fight. I don't really take too much. Oh, okay. Just had to wait for those to explode. But oh, maybe we didn't have rogues. We have a flying rogue. Why wouldn't that have gone for the eggs at least? Oh, poor little vamp. Hell yeah. Stream Raiders battles. It's in the fight. Oh, a mist gets 200. Get in on it. Okay, next we're gonna go. We'll take the long route and we'll go for the treasure chest, but we'll go to the silver chest first. And can I put? Can't put my power down. I'm gonna go berserk on this motherfucker though. Fuck you, Dino. Let's go. Okay. Anyway, Trench, you were saying. Karen, yeah. All hair must be eaten. I think that's pretty much the end of most conversations, right? You just said this!
I know what I must do.
Poor dude's like caught in a loop.
Start at the beginning. I should have seen it earlier.
I don't have time to start at the
This is
beginning.
my mess to clean up.
I don't.
My
After tomorrow, I
fight.
won't have access to this game.
No one
Potentially, like
else's.
tonight, I won't have access to this game, so...
I am the director.
GG. Now you get that cool red phone. Hello, this is Director.
Hello.
Oh,
This
darling.
is Dr. Casper Darling. I have a classified message for the director of the
Well, actually, she started as the director, then she did some, like, janitor assistant type work, and then she kind of was like, yeah, okay, now no, then she went to clerical, then she went, I mean, she's been jumping around, but she did actually start as a director. That's what they told her when she first got there, like, you're the new director, and she was like, oh, am I? And they were like, yeah. And she was like, cool, chill. Do you know Dylan? They were like, kind of, but could you do the shit first? And she was like, yeah, no worries, I'm gonna fly. And they were like, yeah, nice. We got Discmans on our chests, and she was like, I don't, but I can throw stuff. And they were like, that's neat. And then we got here. Oh shit. And now she's blooding from the nose. Can I take that gun with me, please? I can't shoot right now, but I would. Oh shit. Oh, that's not. I was hoping to be a suitcase full of money. Also, why not just have this as a mobile? What if I'm not in my office and someone rings the red phone? Does it go? Is it like diverted to my cell if I don't pick it up here, or what? I was gonna take the cigarettes, but nah, we'll just use backing for our rolls. Hey, oh, it's me, a million Kara Watsons. So I have a big stock at the moment of Kara Watsons. If anybody would like to buy a Kara Watson, which is it's Cara Delevingne and Emma Watson, they got smushed together. So if you'd like to buy any, just let me know. They're fairly cheap. A few, they were returns. They're not doing what Kara Watsons usually do, but they're pretty cool. They're a big conversation piece. You know, although I have quite a few in stock, if people all around the world are buying it, you know, you're probably only going to buy not even one in every country. So you'll be pretty hot shit if you end up on that. Always telling me to push my fingers through shit. Like, I'm not wearing gloves. Yeah, I'll leave you be. There's no door that way. Oh, maybe this way. Ah, okay, we gotta do the clickety-clack. Is there anything to take? 1, 2, 27. Got him. Hey!
I can't feel you. I can't. This is what Dylan wanted all along.
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like our brain is in reality anymore
I
at all.
can feel it, but I don't know what.
What the fuck is on with her eyes? Is that just a UV? Is that a UV that made her? It probably was, yeah.
Place to pass through, connecting everything.
What crazy little murder can do, right?
This
Fizzle, what
is
was
a
Hedron?
dream inside
Wasn't that a
my
big ball?
head. Why shouldn't it take me
Do I have to
anywhere
spend
I wanna
extra
go?
to get accessories to keep it on the ground? To keep it on the ground? Oh, what? Sorry, you're Cara Watson. You're Cara Watson. Yeah, you would have to buy yourself an anchor or an old cannon with a hole in it and chains. Kind of like a kunai, but a cannon with chain. Yeah, because you want them to get a bit of exercise. Otherwise, they'll lose muscle mass. Wait, did no door open on the first hit? Just a train? And now there's no hit. That's still entrapped me in the motel. What a cheeky little bugger. Brothers. Oh, here we go.
Really?
Oh shit, alright. Dr. Casper Darling, Dynamite. Oh, right, let's go. Yeah, you get down, son. This is like that Gale's version of Coming Home Major Tom in Breaking Bad. Oh shit, he got the moves! It does seem like the people that have made all these games, it seems like they've had a lot of fucking fun. And you can't fault them for their ideas, like... Who that? This is great. This is the least broken part of the ending. I'm pretty sure this is the most important part of the game, right? Metal's part of the ending and it's just one in just one of the rooms, right? Yeah. I've said it before, but like aesthetically,
This is so weird.
aesthetically, this hotel reminds me the most of Alan Wake, just because of like
Is
the
my
setting of
head.
Alan Wake.
You're such a weirdo, Jesse.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this was like part of a nod to that. Oh, Cara Watson room. Hey, it's me.
Grow brighter.
Grow brighter.
Around one
Like a firefly.
constant. They revolve.
The brick in the middle of the sun.
Hedron is dead. But you're alive here.
Oh
with
shit.
me.
So we absorbed Hedron.
Maybe Hedron put you in our heads when we met her. Maybe you were always there.
Oh, okay.
And she was just trying to teach me how to trigger you. Maybe I'll never understand. Maybe I don't need to. Trench was the first to be corrupted by the hiss. Slowly,
Okay.
over the years. His need for control only made it worse. It was Trench who took the projector to the nostalgia department. He opened the door to the hiss. Just like that.
You move,
With
I move.
Hedron dead, the hiss tried to corrupt
Oh, this is
me
dizzying,
too.
man. Jesus.
But I'm stronger than them.
Fitter, faster,
We're stronger.
more Cara Watson. Much wow.
They're waiting. They'll try to stop us.
Oh, that kind of looked like the Alan Wake cover as well. We have a boss fight with Dylan. So the Hadron basically touched us when we were young, and it's been like almost calling for us back since. But now we've basically like absorbed it of sorts. Your Wi-Fi is also just connected a fourth time in 3 hours. Damn, dude, that's savage. Yeah, that's horrifying.
My sister had this.
I might have to change my like I'm with Virgin Media, but they've got well expensive, and my like contract's out, so I might have to change. But I'm actually genuinely terrified about having to go to a different company because for the most part they're decent.
She convinced herself.
It's just the
she was
price.
awake. She's always been stubborn. I had to end her dream. I had to wake her up.
Where the fuck am I going?
Go down. Poster sheet and stare.
Do I need to just go down, maybe?
Cut off her eyelids to make her see. To save her.
Did you just say something about cut off my eyelids? No, 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 no. Just basically fight a navigator. In a way, but there's no Pee Wee Herman or cute little little things.
I know he's still there somewhere. Locked inside.
So we just kind
I
of
know, because
accepted
that's
it,
how
and
it
he
was
but he
for
got
me.
fucked up for it. All right, I'm gonna need a little help. Yeah, sweet. Okay. Sengai boost. Don't know what it means, but I'm pretty sure I said the right thing, right? I'm done with their foolishness. I've got whatever that is to get to the Black Prism. Or maybe I have to fight them. See that sweet little parkour I just did to kill that person? That one didn't even hit him when he died. Oh no, he didn't actually die. Bless him. Now he's dead. Probably. Oh, you're alive still? Come on. And you. I've seen you. We chill? Can we carry on now? Nope, apparently not. Alright, I'm gonna come down here because I need the help. Alright. Who? Who dares shoot at me? Well, that sounds worse than shooting. Where is it? Oh, there they are. Alright. Next bit, please. Yo. Oh, god damn it, it's still another one. I suppose while some music's playing, there's still dickheads somewhere. Ah, I see you. We're good now. Still someone there, apparently. Power punch. Hello. I missed. Trippy as fuck. It's cool. Bugged? Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe it may, I mean, it could just be I'm missing something. Maybe it's not meant to just do what I think. Maybe there's just someone stuck somewhere. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I should have. As far as I can tell, no one's around. Maybe they're in the lower bits. Hello? Anybody? Anybody want a little fighteroo? I think it is, yeah. I think it's a little fucked. So I'm just going to waste the money rather than reload. Yeah, I'm going to try and fly over. That was it. Excuse me. My deal is I'll just try and fly and hope they put something underneath me, and if not, it'll take us back to a point anyway. Oh, come on! Savage. Okay, so it was basically there, but I was just too short of the target. Bastards. Well. I know to just fly on over there. I was actually building a fucking oh look, it's actually building a pathway this time. Yeah, it was definitely scuffed. Smashed you when it raised, it was, yeah. Yeah, this is definitely different now. I feel like this is what we were meant to have had before. Hello. Oh! Okay, thank God. Oh, hello. Good old bullets worked with that one. Oh yeah, I never got that final upgrade. I wonder if I'll still have chance. It doesn't feel like it necessarily. Leave it out. I mean, ouch. Let's maybe get closer. Oh, hello. Oh, another nerd. Oh, he was actually a lot easier to get than I thought. Was that screaming thing one of those invisible things that I'd forgotten all about, or was that one of the blow-up things? Which I've skipped a ton of enemies too. Oh, really? You like the seize the floating bombers? Yeah, that's such a good shout. There's one now. Let's go, baby. Oh, he's just being lazy. Ooh. You carry on about your day now, buddy. I'm gonna head on. Get him, boy! Boom, and we won the game. Alright, I got you. Guess who? Everywhere you go, always take your boss.
Dylan's in a coma. I don't know if there's anything of him left in there. If he'll ever find his way
Probably
back.
like intestines and shit. That's all still his, I imagine.
The portal's been closed.
Oh, nice.
But the hiss is still in the oldest house.
Ah, savage.
And the lockdown can't be lifted as long as any trace of it
Oh,
remains.
so we can never leave. Cool.
I'm working on a solution with my management team.
Oh,
but
she's
there is
taken on a
still
director role now then,
long
okay.
road ahead.
It's kind of crazy how she became
I'm
the director though.
director of the Federal
Because
Bureau of Control.
She didn't even work there before.
We're in this together.
Hey, and Scunchu, thank you very much for the follow.
And I.
Welcome. Okay. I know you're already here, but welcome to the team bit. Another fake out ending. I think this one's very much, there you go, Sam Lake. Yeah, that was the dude. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the real ending now, yeah. Hey, no worries, no problem at all. Oh shit, I clicked away from the screen. I hope I didn't actually just fuck up the credits, huh? Oh bollocks, I genuinely didn't mean to... Fuck. I didn't mean to skip the credits, especially a game like this. I kind of wanted to give the shout. I suppose I could probably rerun the credits, but now I got a cool director's outfit, and I got like a Triforce in my hair. Wait, that...
Little Angela Davis mustache wearing ass motherfucker. Richard Pryor
Redemption.
shorts cut fade having around the side wearing motherfucker.
Sammy Davis Award Junior Afro haircut having ass motherfucker. Alright, cool outfit there, right? Okay. Where's the nearest? If I go back to the director's office, there's probably why didn't I actually just do this more in the game? Actually just keep this up and run. To my lady friends. Oh, Emily?
I still don't quite believe.
Oh wait, I wanted to be up there still. This isn't where I wanted to go, actually. I wanted to go to the boardroom. Get out of my way. This isn't the way to it either, right? Where the fuck am I actually going? Oh, it's down there. Okay. Is it still here? Yeah, yeah.
Jesse, good to see you. We've got Dylan situated in his containment cell like you asked. I've got medical staff running tests as we speak. I'd be happy to walk you through the details later. Other than that, what's next?
Slide projector turned off.
Free cake.
The hiss are shut out, but we're stuck with the ones already here. We can't lift the lockdown until they're all right. If any hiss ever got out, that would be the end.
Eliminating them all would take time. Look, I'll do what I can on my end, but my
It's almost like they might have to have some
research
DLC to make that happen.
I think I
Or me finish the side shit.
I am making you the head of research, effective immediately. I want you to use everything the Bureau has, every resource, every confidential scrap of data, and find a way to keep the hiss out for good.
That's it. I mean, yes, I can certainly, yes. Yes, I accept.
You'll do great.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, if you're saying about maybe going to the casino, I might do that with Ernest. If not, I'll be doing. If not, I'll probably do Buckaroo tomorrow.
Do you remember Mr. Tomasi, the head of communications? The hiss.
Yeah, going to be doing Resi and potentially some multiplayer tomorrow
Near
as
the
well.
turntable.
I'll take care of it. That thing's not getting away this time.
I've heard reports
Well,
about
then
his
you
particular
reply-
use
and you
of
replied
language
that
and
you wanted to
intonation
go with,
his babbling that
I mean, once we're there, we can always like put a
Distinctions
flyer
between
up in like
different
Casino Night or some shit.
individuals is truly fascinating. I wonder if I could categorize the data.
And she's already off on her own thing.
Okay.
How do you feel about me taking over as director?
You act like it
Might be
just
down for some
happened.
gambling. Alright,
I've been
alright.
director since we first met, remember? I'm still thrilled.
Also, if it's
Nothing's
locked
changed,
at the
not
front,
for me.
Ernest knows how to get in at the
But
back.
the Bureau has changed. Trench and Darling are gone. Their knowledge, anything not written down, disappeared with them. They knew the Bureau better than anyone.
They're the Bureau's past, and we won't operate like they did. We'll learn from their mistakes. We'll be better than they ever were. We won't.
Wanna bug me to a tsunami?
Be like
To be fair, tsunami is only an hour away, actually. Yeah, it's not a bad point. Right, we've done all that. Yeah, maybe I will,
Got a
actually.
bureau to run. See you soon.
I'm also
Yes,
nervous.
ma'am, Director Faden.
Please, Emily. Let me finish the joke.
This is it, by the way. Yeah, this is the game done right now. It just lets me do side stuff, I'm guessing. Alright, so they actually give us 2 new outfits for the end, basically. Oh, and I can finally do this thing. Multiple launch. Nice. Multi-launch. Fuck it. Take that one too, why not? Upgrade the shutter. Go on then. I still don't have enough house memory. I may have just spent them actually, but hey hey. Okay. Just make sure that's saved. Yeah, done its thing. Right. If you will return to last checkpoint if you quit to the main menu. Which won't necessarily be that. Wait, let me just check there wasn't any extra missions. I know there's still the side missions, but so jukebox, paper lantern, clean the mess. Locate his corrupted Tomasi. Who is he? The dinner tables are closed even if you get in. Really? Like, yeah, I don't know what we can do there. I have no idea. The longer you leave the first solo shift from leaving training, the more stress it'll be. That is very true, yeah. That is very true. There's a fair amount you could have done. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of side stuff, but I potentially won't be able to play this game within 2 hours. Like, at the moment, I can't renew the Xbox game thing for that 3 months or a quid thing because it's still like, if you want to extend it, it's 11 quid. So like, I'm waiting for it to cancel and I'm kind of hoping that I'll be able to then like, get that deal once the one I'm on has ended, but I have no idea. Like, I mean, technically I paid for this month properly. So I might be able to take that deal again and then maybe I can come back to doing some of this, some of the side stuff. But for now, we're going to quit to the main menu. I might have a quick look to see if we can see the credits. We can. Okay. We were going to do it anyway, just in a different order now, I guess. So Matthew Porretta was Alan Wake. This isn't that big of a team at all, really. I'm pretty sure I've seen a couple of names repeating in different departments. Chip Chase. His name's Paul Chip Chase. That's a dope name. You say Xbox is a god to me. Imagine playing this on PlayStation. Did we already see the cast? Unpatched, it's unplayable on console? Oh, really? That's not cool to hear. But yeah, I mean, I'm guessing there's a patch out for it though, like, you know, that's savage though. I mean, it crashed enough times on mine as well. But was it actually made for PC and imported to console in that case, or? Actually, I guess it probably is with everything they've put into this. It's a UWP. Ultimate Working Profile. Unpatched Working Poop. Universal Windows Platform, right? Oh, okay, yeah. Man. That's the thing, like... I couldn't ever advocate trying to buy shit from the Windows Store because it was just fucked. There's always issues with it. The only real reason to go with the Windows Store is because if you can get there like for £1, you can play their games for a month. Then it's kind of worth the hassle, but. Universal EXE for all 3 platforms, but it's utter shit. Yeah. Does definitely seem that way, and they're made to work on the Xbox, Windows, and Windows phones, right? So the phones can't run Control. Yeah, could you imagine? Yeah, streamers up. I'm gonna let this play because if I click out of it, it will end the credits again, like last time, I think. So we'll do stream raiders just after this. So I need to remember when I go on shift with Buckleby, it's now Echo Papa 47, no longer Echo Tango. Talking of P, I really need one. Maybe I should have gone for that, being aware how long the song actually is. Oh shit. No worries, catch you in a sec, Max. But yeah, man, I'm glad. I enjoyed this game, and like, the only shame is I don't have more time to do the side stuff because I'm sure some of that was still great. I wanted to go a bit further with Artie's like unclogging stuff. I feel like there'd have been a bit more about Artie to learn as well. But weird as fuck, cool ideas to play with, like, and it's funny as well because like obviously Alan Wake was more, although it was like a trippy game, it was more you're walking around with like a flashlight and a gun. Then like Quantum Break was again very trippy, but you didn't necessarily, you got some like stuff, but not like same sort of powers. Like they always seem to try playing with different things for each game, which is cool. Such credits, much people. It's right, we're on Dynamedium now. And see, after Dynamedium, it flows like little red zombies running away from you, you know. Martin Stig-Andersen. Look, I know that name. Not like personally, but. Universally speaking. Let me move the mouse. Get on people's names and shit, it's rude. Now onto the French cast. Don't worry, they only go for every language. Marta da Silva. Britta, nice. Like, there's a character in Community called Britta. I don't know if I've ever actually heard of anyone else called that from Beyond the Filter. We're on a special thanks though. We might get the soundtrack soon. No, I don't want to bait. Yeah, here we go. Fuck the development babies. Let's see the Remedy pets. Uino, Kex, Romeo, Tigariacus, Hala, Lilian Taco, Bobby Leo, Frank and the Cat, Mesamita, Princess Buttercup, Sizzlepants. Okay, now we're on this. Yeah, the credits weren't too long for this. It wasn't obviously a huge team. There's enough people that made it, but yeah, it's still cool. Did you know they use Blink Video and Coherent Labs and NVIDIA and Simplegon, Umbra, 3D scanned appearances? Yeah. What? How dare they? You put your songs, then you finish your credits. That's the universal thing. None of this extra shit. You do the songs at the end, man. That's how you know you're there. Once you start seeing the first song roll, you're like, sweet, we've made it through the credits. But yeah, GG Game Makers. That was very enjoyable. And some really cool shit in it, for sure.